Ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do,
Just what to do, just what to do.
if what you're feeling is really true,
Is it really true? Is it really true?
just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geri Petito Show. Everyone and anyone who knows me knows I am the author of I'm Not an Addict, I'm Just an Ass. I'd rather be a smartass than a dumbass. Because, guys, 34 years ago, I was a dumbass. But today, 34 years later, through the grace of God, I can honestly say now I'm a smartass. And yes, the word ass is in the Bible at least 40 times, and it means donkey, and that's what I was. I'm saying all that to say this. There are a lot of people out there struggling, even with health. I'm a nutritional health coach. I'm a recovery coach. All my services to you are free. Please, please reach out. I want everyone to know someone is listening. If you think my book can help someone, because I sure do, you can go right to Simon & Schuster's bookstore, Archway Publishing, BAM, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can go to my website, www.geripetito.com. My book is now on audio with my voice, guys. Simon & Schuster wanted to do it with someone else's voice. I was like, no way. So my producer, Ruben Rodriguez, part owner of Hamilton Radio and owner of Iron Horse Films, is now doing audiobooks with your voice. So if any authors out there are interested, please, please reach out. So before I introduce my awesome guest, I have to give a shout out to a few of my sponsors. So the first one I want to give a shout out to is John Bishop, aka Johnny B, singer-songwriter, host of the Entertainment Luncheon South, a nonprofit network created for the creative. He also has a Facebook group page, Entertainment Luncheon South. He's partners in the Joey D and Johnny B Rockin' Oldies band. He also sings solo, but I have to give a shout out to him and his wife Linny for what they do with this luncheon once a month. It's by invite only. It's $20. Get a great lunch, incredible entertainment, and they don't keep a penny of it, guys. So I just want to let everybody know that they're amazing, and they promote all of us like nobody else does. So John and Linny, you know how I feel about you, how everyone feels about you guys. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. So then we've got Scott and Donna Richard. So this is a very sad story, guys. Their son recently took his own life, and what they decided to do with the help of their daughter, who said we've got to do something to honor him and help people who are suicidal. So they got these chips made, little coin wooden chips made, okay? Suicide and Crisis Lifeline 988 24/7, call, text, chat. You are not alone. And this one has the motorcycle with their son's name on it. And they're being put everywhere. Okay? So, you know, if anyone is suicidal, please, please dial 988. Okay? What you guys are doing, Scott and Donna and your daughter, is amazing in spite of. You guys have went through the most horrendous tragedy anyone could have ever gone through. And you turned it around into something to help others. So God bless you all, and I love you, and what you're doing is beautiful. If anybody out there knows of someone that's possibly suicidal, please, please, please have them dial 988. You could get in touch with me. I could, coach them. You can get in touch with me. They could get in touch with Scott and Donna. However it has to go, please know you're not alone, okay? So now, my last sponsor for today is a new sponsor as well, Robert Sweeney. retired U.S. Air Force one-man band, guitar player, writer, producer, AI digital creator. So he made me an AI theme song without me even knowing. It was a surprise. We're going to be playing it at the end of the show. It's really cool, okay? He also made an AI theme song about the Jersey Devil, and he's hoping to get that into a movie. Explore powerful stories of love, loss, and legacy through his music and videos on YouTube and Spotify. Let's bring these emotional and thought provoking tales to life. So, Robert Sweeney, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right? And we'll be playing that song, guys. Now, my guest is really ridiculously cool. He's got a lot of different accolades, okay? And the last one is going to make you probably crack up. All right? So his name is KENON WALKER. KENON, say hello.
Hello, hello. How you doing?
So, actor, historian, and Peabody Duckmaster. How cool is that? All right, let's go. Start telling us. Tell us about it.
Well, I mean, what part do you want to know about first? The
Okay,
acting,
first,
duck mastering, or...
first the Duckmaster part, because that's really ridiculously cool. Then we're going to talk about you as an actor, as a historian, and everything else you do, okay?
Yeah, absolutely, man. As far as the Peabody
Wait,
duck...
wait 1 second. Gino, can we get him a little louder? Is it on our end? Little louder. Hold on. Okay, talk.
can you hear me now?
Better. Go ahead.
Okay, well, perfect. Well, as far as what the Peabody Duckmaster and the Duck March is, it's a historical ceremony that's been going on since 1940 in Memphis, Tennessee, at a historical hotel called the Peabody Hotel. And a black man named Edward Pembroke, who was hired as a bellman at the hotel in 1940, he started the ceremony. And the whole thing happened because in 1933, the general manager of the Peabody Hotel and a friend of his, they were avid duck hunters. So they went duck hunting over in Arkansas in the middle of winter. And back then they used live duck decoys to help draw in other ducks.
Really?
But they also, that's illegal now. Apparently you can't do that anymore. But apparently they took a lot of Jack Daniels over there to stay warm.
Okay.
And they got way too warm. So when they came back to the hotel, they forgot to drop the live duck decoys off before they came back, and they figured it'd be a good idea to set those ducks loose in the lobby fountain as a practical joke. So they brought these 3 live English call ducks into the hotel, set them loose inside the lobby fountain, but they went back to their rooms and they left the ducks in the fountain. So now the next day, the guests are coming downstairs. There's 3 English call ducks swimming around in the fountain that weren't there before. And then I guess the guests liked the fact that these ducks were in the fountain. So it became a tradition for those ducks to live in the fountain for the next 7 years, but it became another job for the bellman during that time period to have to figure out how to take care of them. Well, in 1940, a man named Edward Pembroke was hired to be a bellman. Just so happened he was a former animal trainer in the Ringling Brothers and Barnum Bailey Circus as a young man. And he knew how to train ducks. So he was the one who came up with the tradition of turning the tradition of ducks living in the fountain into a ceremony. At first, he convinced the management to give them a home on the rooftop. He said, these are outside animals. They should have a home outside. So why don't we give them a home on the roof? We can just call it a duck palace. The original duck palace was a large cage. The one that's on top of the hotel now is a $200,000 structure. And then he switched them from the 3 English call ducks to 3 North American mallards, 1 male and 2 females, or 1 drake and 2 hens, as they're referred to. Then he worked up to 5 ducks, 1 male and 4 females. And can keep in mind, coming from the circus, you have the ringmaster. So he created the title of the Duckmaster. And he trained those ducks on how to march from the duck palace on the rooftop all the way across the roof into the hotel, then into the elevator. They all get in the elevator together, ride down to the lobby, and at 11 o'clock, they have a red carpet entrance march into the fountain, keep the ducks indoors no more than 6 hours, and then 5 o'clock, roll the red carpet back out for the grand exit march, and back up to the duck palace for the night. So he created that ceremony in 1940. He held that position until 1991. 51 years he held that title. And now, since him, I'm the 7th official Duckmaster. Now, official meaning my only job is Duckmaster. I'm the 2nd black man to ever officially hold that title since him. And all of it happened, very organically because it wasn't a plan of mine. But now, almost 7 years later, it's something that's changed my life.
Okay, so hold that thought because I want to give you a message from your girl Ina first off.
Mhm.
All right? She says to let you know she's watching and she adores you for the wonderful person you are to everyone. Okay? And isn't that a cool story? Yes, Ina, that is a ridiculously cool story. So she's
Yeah.
your biggest fan and I'm your second one now.
I will tell her I said thank you and thank you too. I appreciate it.
So I have a couple questions about that first.
Sure.
All right. So now this has been going on all these years, right?
Hmm.
And you obviously have to keep getting new ducks in.
That's right. Yeah, I get a new team every 90 days.
Oh, oh, wait, why every 90 days?
But we don't want to domesticate them. So they're 1 year old. When I get them, they can live. A healthy mallard duck can live 28 years. So we just keep them 90 days. So we don't domesticate them. Ducks have two sets of feathers. They have the outer layer, and then there's like an underlayer, which are their flight feathers. If you were to cut one of those outer layer of feathers, there's nerve endings in those feathers, so that would hurt them, and those feathers won't grow back. But then the white feathers under their wings, that's like when you clip your fingernails or toenails, or if you get a haircut. It doesn't hurt them at all, but those feathers grow back. So we just trim down one wing to a point to where they don't fly for the 90 days they're at the hotel. And then I send them back to our breeder, who's a man named Jeff. Once they get back to his property, which is where they were born, once they get back to him and those flight feathers grow back, they can either stay with him or they can fly away.
Oh,
So,
okay, that's cool. I was worried. I was like, wait, what do you do with them afterwards? That's beautiful.
yeah, nothing tragic. Like there's no duck served at the hotel. There's no duck on the menu anywhere. There's nothing.
I love
Abusive.
that. I'm a vegan,
Yeah.
so I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, yeah. If there was anything that was abusive or if the ducks were mistreated or any kind of way, I couldn't do what I do because my conscience wouldn't let me do it.
So,
But
okay, so now, wow, I didn't realize every 90 days. I thought if maybe some passed away. Okay, so wait, a couple more questions about it, and then we'll get back on to the rest of you. Um, so, how long does it take to train them to do this?
on average, it takes about 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Keep in mind when I get to the end of the 3 months for what I call my veterans. You know what I mean? Then I'm sent a new team. So there's a 2 week overlay where I have my veterans and I have my rookies inside the duck piles with a fence separating them. That way I can keep marching the veterans while I'm training the rookies on the rooftop. Right? But what I've chosen to do and what has worked for me is that keep in mind that when I get a new team of ducks, they're scared. They don't know where they are. They don't know who I am. All right. So and keep in mind when they send me a new team, they send me six, one male and five females. They send me one more just in case if one of the ducks won't take to the training. So they send me a backup duck.
Okay.
All right. And if I have any more than one male, they'll try to fight each other for dominance. I mean, so I always have one male, rest females. All right. So the first 3 days of a new team, I stay on the opposite side of the fence from the rookies. I let them see me interacting
Yeah,
with the
right.
previous.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that way they can see, like, okay, you might be all right, right? And then I just talk to them. Because keep in mind, the veterans, they'll run up to me. They've been with me for 3 months. So they're
Oh my
comfortable with
gosh.
me. So I'll feed the veteran ducks and I just talk to the rookies, talk to them, get them used to my voice, get them used to my presence, get them used to my spirit. And then usually after about 3 days, and they'll finally kind of start kind of waddling out the corner a little bit. You know what I mean? And once I see they're comfortable, then I just teach them how to get from the duck palace to the elevator. So it's just repetition. Just guide them back and forth. It's not food incentivized. I don't give them treats to lead them along the way. It's just guide them from point A to point B. Just back and forth like two or three times a day.
But wait,
After,
wait, I gotta interrupt you, and I don't like doing that.
that's all
But
right.
how do you communicate with a duck? Like, do you say quack quack, follow me?
No, I talk to them. I talk to them like I do anybody else. Now, if I like to think they understand what I'm saying, you know what I mean? It's like if someone talks to the dog, or someone talks to a horse, or someone
I
talks
guess
to a
they kind of do if they're doing it right.
yeah. I mean, I think they feel your intentions, but I think at the same time, with me, I don't know. I really because I choose to connect with them first and form a kind of a bond. I think they feel what I'm trying to get them to do, and I'm a big believer in the power of positive speaking. You know what I mean? So I give them pep talks in the morning. I talk to them and tell them like, look, man, we got people from around the world is coming. Somebody needs this moment. Somebody's going through something. Somebody really needs this joy this morning. We got to march some joy in that lobby. They're counting on y'all to, to make a difference today. And I really talked to them, you know what I'm saying? But it's something that I had to find myself growing into doing, you know what I mean? Because when I was responsible for training my first team, keep in mind, like I'm the seventh official duck master in the world. It's not like it's a whole group of people for me to emulate, or there's not like a protocol that's already in place for me to follow to fit what a duck master is. I had to come up with a lot of this on my own. I had to put a lot of myself into this role and figure out what I should, what I shouldn't do. But when it came to the ducks, I really wanted to form a bond with them. I didn't want to scare them into a routine. I didn't want to, just usher them from point A to point B. I wanted to connect with them. I didn't really have a lot of pets growing up. So I was taught to just train them on how to get from point A to point B. But I was like, no, I don't. They're scared. I don't want to teach them a process or force them into a process if they're scared. I want them to be comfortable. I want to have fun with this. I want them to have fun with this. So took it on myself to take that first 3 days and wait. Until they were comfortable before I started training them. And that's what's worked for me. So now when the ducks see me, they're genuinely excited. When they hear my voice, they start quacking. They're like, okay, he's here.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when they're in the lobby, like if they see me, they start quacking, which makes the guests that are sitting there, wondering, what's wrong? What's going on with the ducks? And they'll look at the direction that they see that the duck's looking in, and then they see me, and they're like, oh, that's him. They do. They know him. They know him. They know you. I'm like, yeah, they know me. I'm the duck master. You know what I mean? But it's something magical. It's something kind of charming about when a team of ducks announces you before you walk into the room.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the coolest thing in the world to me. So it's like the kid in me who didn't have a lot of pets. Man, I'm having fun with it. Like I'm genuinely excited to see the ducks. They're excited to see me. And they express that excitement throughout the day. You know what I mean? And to me, that's just, after almost 7 years of doing this, it never gets old to me. That's like such a charming and magical thing to me, to have 5 ducks excited to see you. You know what I mean? So, and then what that does is, like, when there's kids, which there's a lot of kids there, of course, a lot of kids initially might be scared. You know what I'm saying? They're in a place they've never been to before, or kids were raised to believe certain things or taught certain things. I don't know. But some kids are just, scared initially. But when they see the ducks aren't scared, a lot of times I use the ducks to connect with the kids. It's like, okay, I see you're kind of scared right now. I was going to ask you to help me feed the ducks, but if you bring that fear over to them, that's going to scare them. And they feed off of people's energy. So I'm going to leave you over here and let you warm up, right? But I want you to go over here and watch me. And if these ducks aren't scared of me, why are you scared of me? Nobody was scared till you walked up. You created that fear, but I can't let you bring that fear over to the ducks. So I'm going to wait and let you figure out why you're scared before I ask you to help me go feed these ducks. I need somebody brave to help me. Somebody who's joyful, someone who's going to bring that joy to the ducks. That's what I need. And if that's not you, it's okay. There's no pressure. But I'll find someone else who wants to help me. But I asked you because you're you. I figured you'd be the perfect person to help me because you're here. Your path led you here. Right? And I'm the person who's in charge of picking who helps me do what. And I thought you'd be perfect. But if you don't believe that, then it's okay. I'll wait until you believe that. But there's other people who want to be in the place that I'm trying to put you in right now. But I'll give you some time. And usually by that time, they'll be like, no, I want to do it.
Yeah.
I want to do it. I want to help. Yeah, I want to help. You know what I'm saying? So it's a way for me to connect with people in such a unique position by doing something innocent, by doing something charming, but it's also something you can't see anywhere else. Like there are no other official duck masters. There's no other Peabody hotels. It happens in one place. So it's almost like if Mickey Mouse was a real person, you know what I'm saying, and only existed in one place, you could actually go see him. It's like that's kind of what it is. You know what I mean? So I never lose sight of the impact that the place and the ceremony and the position of being duck master, what the impact it has on people. Because like for some people, like I said, it's their first time ever coming. They don't know what to expect. And they got some people who are coming, bringing their kids when they were brought as kids. Or they're coming and they're celebrating the memory of someone who brought them when they were a kid, who's no longer here. And the Peabody and the Duck March was their happy place. Everyone's there for a different reason. And a lot of it is sentimental value. Like some people have these real cherished memories that they're trying to bring people to relive and to share those memories with people. I get to be the person to provide that experience. You know what I mean? So I'm sensitive to the fact that this isn't an act. For me, it's not an act. It's not a gimmick. It's not like a, hey, how are you? Welcome. I'm the Duck Duckmaster, welcome to the I don't do that. It's like, no, calm down. You got to do all that, man. You can be yourself. You know what I'm saying? You can be genuine. There's a sense of showmanship to it, but it's really me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know tell you, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, Duckmaster Kenan is an entity, it's a persona, but it's really me. It's an extension of me. I'm not becoming someone that I wasn't before.
Okay.
I'm sharing the things that were already in me with people through this platform.
Yeah.
But it's received in a way that it might not have been received normally because it's coming from the Duckmaster, from the official Peabody Duckmaster. You know what I'm saying? So my hellos go a little bit further.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Me stopping and recognizing you means a little more when you're the person that everyone came to see. You see what I'm saying? And I just let the moments lead me. Because like I said, I didn't plan to be Duckmaster. I actually said no 3 times when I was asked, to be honest with you. I was asked 7 times. So I prayed about it, you know what I'm saying, and woke up and had this sense of peace about trying it. And I said, okay, well, look, if this is what I'm purposed to be doing, then I just kind of said a prayer, then lead me through it. Show me how to do it. You know what I mean? I can't emulate who came before me. I'm not him. I'm not him. You know what I'm saying? But I also recognize the black man started the Duck March. So I'm like, okay, so if this is passed to me, that means I'm the second official black person in history to officially hold the title.
Yeah.
That means I'm carrying on Edward Pembroke's legacy.
Yeah.
Well, he passed away in 1991. He started in 1940. You know what I'm saying? The circumstances of him doing this in a segregated hotel initially when he started was much different.
Yeah.
I wish I could have sat down and talked to him and really understood what it was like for him and the other bellmen that he trained to do this.
Yeah.
But now, fast forward, it was 2018, or February 2019, when this was offered to me. It's a whole generation of people who've never seen the Duck March, never seen someone like me do it. Social media is a thing now, you know what I'm saying? Everything can be broadcast and shared, you know, internationally. It's a whole new generation of people who are coming to see me do this, who never knew anything about it before. You know what I mean? So to know that I was led to be on a platform that only one person can officially hold at a time in the world. And I never applied to do it.
Wow.
I never applied to do it. I said no to it 3 times when they asked, and he kept asking me. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that seems like, okay, that's purpose. Like something is being called to do this. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of applicants, of people who actually applied to be Duckmaster, hoping that position would open up someday. I never applied to do it. I said no 3 times, and it still happened. So I was like, okay, well, God lead me through it. Show me how to do it. And then what's worked for me is staying present in the moment, stay in tune with who you cross paths with. Because you may have realized that there was a reason you crossed paths with that person on that day. Share the moment with the person in front of you. Don't have the same thing that you tell every single person across your path. Share that moment with someone. Give them you. And then maybe they might give you them. And people feel when you're genuine with them. But they also feel when you're just going through the motions. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes people need that moment. Sometimes people need to feel seen. They need to feel like they matter. You know what I'm saying? They could have been at their wits' end. And this may have been what they were going to do right before the worst. Yeah. But you saw them. You stopped and said hello to them and made them feel seen. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And I just said, I've seen how this has impacted people over the years. And me too. It comes back to me. I've been impacted by the people who I've crossed paths with. So it's a give and take thing. But I've been led to say stuff to people that makes no sense to me. But I'll just be obedient. I'll just say it. You know what I'm saying? I've walked up and I'm like, okay, you know it's not over yet, right? Which makes no sense coming out of my mouth. But to them, to be like, I was like, I don't know why I was supposed to tell you that. I was supposed to say it's not over yet. And I've seen people just tear up. You know what I'm saying? Just by things that was in my spirit to say. And it's just like, wow. Like, okay, this is what it is. Like, I've been offered an opportunity to use a platform to connect with people and bring joy and hope to people during a time when we all need it. When every single person needs some kind of hope. Like, we all need some kind of hope.
That's right.
And the thing that I've realized that binds us, that connects us is joy. Like, people need joy. You know what I'm saying? I've seen the walls up when people walk in. You know what I'm saying? People just determined, I'm not going to have a good time. I'm not going to enjoy this. I don't even want to be here. Right. You know what I'm saying? But then I've also seen that wall just kind of slowly like, wow. wow. You know what I mean? And it's amazing to watch that transformation happen. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't, and I'm not gonna say it affects everybody the same way, but I've seen
Right.
people come in one way and I've seen them lead change. You know what I'm saying? But I've also recognized that, man, we're all going through something.
That's right.
And then that little 15, 20 minutes that ceremony is going on, you get to forget about that for a second.
Yeah.
And I watch people forget about it for a second. I'm sure the bar helps too. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I watch people forget about what they're going through for just a little while. You know what I'm saying? I get to share some kind of joy, genuinely. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And when these five ducks, you know what I'm saying, walk into that lobby, I've seen people break down crying happy
Yeah.
tears.
Sure.
That's from adults to kids, you know what I'm saying, to senior citizens.
Yeah.
And I look around, I really take a second and I look and I try to connect with everyone. If I can't speak to you, I'm gonna lock eyes with you at some point. And when you see it, like when you see, like, wow, that person needed this. That person is better now having come than they were before they walked through
That's
those
right.
doors. It's an amazing, amazing thing to see, and it's opened other doors in my life and other avenues and friendships and bonds and opportunities. But it all stemmed from me being led to doing something I didn't plan to do, accepting the impact that it could have, and just praying to learn how to let it lead me. And not treat it like a job, not treat it
Right.
like an
Right.
act, not treat it like a history lesson, not treat it like a performance, but just provide something that people can't see anywhere else and take a moment to recognize them, to see them, to cross paths with them. And almost February will be 7 years I've been doing this, and it's just at this point now, I'm internationally known. I've been on the game show To Tell the Truth, the only story CNN's ever done on the Peabody they did about me. I've been in international travel shows. I've been in national travel shows. I've been in national and international publications. I've been on all type of blogs and podcasts and this and that. But it all came from staying present in the moment and what I was doing. You know what I mean? In the
Right.
moment.
That's right.
Those people took those moments and shared them with other people. They posted their videos. They posted their pictures. They shared their experiences. That spread. You know what I mean? I'm not conscious of it. It's like I'm conscious of how far it reaches, but I'm not, because I don't look for it. I don't look for the picture I just took. I don't look for the interview I just gave. I don't look for the moment outside of that moment. I move on to the next moment. And at the end of the days, I just pray I did what I was purposed to do in each moment of the day. But then sometimes those moments will catch back up to me. Somebody will tag me in a post. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll like, oh yeah, I remember this couple, not knowing that couple was the CEO of so and so or the director of this or whoever. You know what I'm saying? But there are no VIPs to me. Everybody's the same. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you're a Hollywood celebrity. I don't care if you mop floors. You're a person, and you're standing in front of me at this moment. By design, was supposed to happen. So let me figure out what this moment is about. I don't look down, up to, or down to anybody. I look
Nope.
at people on the same
Yeah. Me
playing
too.
field.
Me too.
We're all trying to figure it out.
That's right.
Some of us may be a little closer to a goal that exposes us to more people, that's what we're doing, but you had to figure it out before you got there. So everybody is in process. You know what I'm saying? So I genuinely connect with the people in front of me. It just so happened that I found out later that those people may have been directors or playwrights or actors themselves or producers or CEOs or inventors, fellow entertainers, fellow historians. I found out afterwards what they do, but I get to connect with the person in the moment. But again, I get to do it through a platform that no one else holds.
Right.
There's millions of other everything else is. There's one official Duckmaster.
Right. That's so cool. I have a short story I want to share with you about what you were saying about talking to people.
Mm-hmm.
So I talk to everybody. Okay. My daughter and my grandson especially, he's more shy. He's 24. And he's like, me, Mom, why do you have to talk to everybody? Like, he thinks they don't want me to talk to them or say hello or whatever. And I said, listen, I'm not going to stop being me. I don't care. There's a reason why I talk to everybody. Maybe I'm supposed to. Whatever it is, like you were saying. One day, me, my grandson, and my daughter, we were in New York and we had to take an elevator in this big building. We get in the elevator. There's a young African American male, a little bit overweight, okay? And he had a purple shirt on. So purple is my color.
Mm-hmm.
So I see when we walked in, he kind of put his head down. And I said, okay. So I go, hey, I love the purple shirt, dude. And he looks up and he smiles. And I go, and you know what I love even more? Your smile. Man, you need to be smiling in that purple shirt. He got tears in his eyes. You know what he said to me? He said, thank you so much for that. He goes, I've been so self-conscious in the shirt. He goes, I wore it because I do like it, but then I thought everybody's staring at me. And I said, yeah, I was staring at you. And when people are staring at you, it's because they probably love the purple shirt. So when they're staring at you, smile back. And I said, can I hug you? He said, absolutely. And I gave him a hug. So you're right. You know, people need recognition and they need to know. And I say this all the time. I don't even judge prostitutes. You know why? They might have been raped by an uncle or a mother and they have a little kid home that they got to feed. I mean, and I always say this too. What would we do without sanitation workers? To me,
Right.
they are right up there, kid. So I
Mm-hmm.
love
Mm-hmm.
everything that you just said, and Ein is listening and messaging me all this great stuff about you. All right, hundreds of people come every day to see the Duckmaster, blah blah blah, march. So one last question about that, and then we're going to get on to you being an actor and a historian and all that. So when you have to switch your ducks every 90 days, do you cry?
I don't cry anymore. No, no. My first team, I will say, my very, very first team that I ever trained, I got real attached to them because I mean, they were the team where I started figuring out my process. You know what I mean, so the first time I was in there, trying to figure out how to connect with them so I could train them, I literally was just like, okay, well, hey,
Mhm.
ducks, I'm Keenan, and I'm the assistant duck master, which I was at that time, and you're the new team, and we're gonna be working together. So just make me look good. I'll make you look good. But then I caught myself. Right, I was on the rooftop of the hotel. I'm looking out at the city from the rooftop of the Peabody, and I'm thinking about everything that I've been through that led me there to that moment, to the rooftop. You know what I mean? The fact that my path led me to becoming the duck master. I didn't plan to do it. Again, I didn't. It wasn't my plan. It's like, man, all the stuff you've been through has led you right here to this moment.
That's right.
Man, own this.
Yep.
Own it. Have fun with this. You being you is what got you here. Be yourself. You don't have to become something that you're not. Just incorporate some new skills into what you already do. Have fun with this. You know what I mean? It's just like when you're having a performance or if you're giving a tour. If people see that you're into what you're talking about, it makes them pay more attention to what you're saying. If they see you just going through the motions and then they're going to tune out. There's no use for you even being there. So when I caught myself, I was like, man, look, I was chosen to do this. Man, have fun. So now, like I said, when I have a team, it's like, hey, y'all, look, man, I know you're scared. I know you're scared. That's okay. It's all right to be scared, all right? But I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not even going to touch you. I said, but I am Duckmaster Keenan. And you were the new team. You were the chosen ones. You were the ones who were selected to be world famous ducks for the next 3 months. I know you're scared, but it's my job to break you from this state of fear to where y'all are marching together with such pride that it's worthy of a red carpet entrance down there into that lobby. But I'm going to tell you now, there's 6 of you. One of you will not make it. So it's up to you to decide who's staying here and who's getting sent back to that farm. But I'm not going to let you down. And I talked to them. Man. I had fun with them. But that first team, man, I named all of them, which I shouldn't have done. Like, I got way too attached to them. There was 1 boy, 4 girls. The boy, that was Howard the Duck. I named the 4 females after my 4 aunts. So I had Diane, Gail, Frankie, and Sarah, right? I even invited my aunts to meet them. I was like, that's you. And they were honored. They're like, oh, I got a Peabody Duck named after me. But man, when it came time to switch them out for that next team, heartbroken. I was like, no, you can't take these ducks. These are my ducks. You know what I mean? So now I just call them duckies. It just makes it a little easier to, you know what I'm saying, to break the bond. But so yeah, but there's an attachment and a detachment that
Yeah.
happens. But no, it's not quite as emotional
Do you
as
ever
it was
hug
for that
them? You
person.
said you don't touch them. Do you ever
I
hug
don't
them?
touch them. Yeah, I don't touch them. You know what I mean? Unless one of the ducks hops out the fountain and can't get back in on his or her own, then I don't even touch them. I don't get in because I don't want. The thing is, I don't want to domesticate them.
Oh, because I would be hugging them. So you didn't have many animals growing up. All right, when I was in my 20s, I loved animals my whole life. I used to let stray dogs and cats in. My poor father, he would shake his head, what the heck, and he would take care of them. But
Mm.
I had an animal room when I was in my 20s in my home, and I'm like super clean, organized, spotless. So no one even knew I had an animal, let an animal room. Okay? I had fish tanks. I had, I'm talking a 250-gallon saltwater tank with live rock, with blowfish. Then I had a tall fish tank with seahorses. I mean, I had it all. I had snakes. I had birds. I had cats. I had gerbils. I had rats. I
Oh
had,
wow.
oh my God, I had it all. I had an animal room. And I just love it. And one last story about an animal, and then I'm going to ask you about you being a historian. So, me and my dad and my daughter, she was a teenager. We went to Australia years ago. I've been there several times. I love it. And an alligator or a crocodile, whatever it was coming out of the water. And I know that they can't see you head on. They can only
Mm.
see you from the sides. I go running with my camera in front of this thing about 6 feet. My father's going crazy, and I'm like going like this to him, like, shh. And I take the photo and I run. And I go, Dad, he can't see us straight on. And it went back in the water. So I am also crazy when it comes to animals. So I'd be hugging them and kissing them, and oh my gosh.
I would say that that first thing there was one of the ducks that in the morning I give them romaine lettuce. You know what I mean
Okay.
before I take them down to the lobby. But one of the ducks had figured out how to play catch with that lettuce. You know what I mean? It was kind of a subconscious thing. I was got to tear it up and throw it out at them. But then one of them would walk up like the edge of the steps and then kind of do this thing with her bill. You know what I mean? So I would throw it up in the air and she would catch it. And I was like, yo, you just learned how to play catch with lettuce? You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So every morning when I would come in, she'd be right there having her bill up.
Right. Well, Kenon,
And man,
thank you for telling us all this about the ducks. What an amazing story. Okay. Now, okay, we're going to talk about you being an actor, but first, I want to talk about you being a historian.
mhm.
First off, do you talk about your age?
Yeah, I'm 45.
Oh, you're my daughter's age. She'll be 45
Mhm.
in a week. All right. So, a historian, tell me.
And all that really did another organic thing that happened. Like I said, acting led into, but actually being a troublemaker led into acting, and then acting led into.
Do you want to do acting first then? You want to talk about acting first?
I mean, well, yeah, we can.
All right,
I
talk
mean,
about
because
acting
it
and
all
then
kind of
how it
flows.
led into that. Okay.
Yeah, it all kind of flows in together. Because I mean, like I said, I grew up a single parent household, only child. You know what I'm saying? My mother worked and went to school. You know what I mean? So I was alone a lot. That's what they call a latchkey kid.
Okay.
I mean, I was letting myself in the house at like, 10, 11, 12 years old. Had to wear my key around my neck. Had to learn how to cook meals, you know what I'm saying, for myself when a family member or somebody couldn't babysit me. So I spent a lot of time alone. I got in a lot of trouble growing up. My mom's phenomenal, you know what I'm saying? She's still here. She's still with me. So, shout out to my mom.
Beautiful.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I took her through a lot. I took her through a lot growing up. You know what I mean? I got in a lot of trouble growing up. So, but one summer, keep in mind I was born in Memphis and raised in Atlanta. Spent some time in Chattanooga, but most of my teenage years were in Atlanta, Georgia. So one summer, my mom put me in a theater camp at the Alliance Theater Company. You know what I mean? When I was 13, just to keep me occupied, keep me doing something that summer while she was working and going to school. And improv exercises was natural to me. Like coming up with situations and riffing and keeping things going, that was natural. That's the kind of stuff I was getting in trouble in school for doing anyway. You know what I mean? So I'll never forget, they put me on stage through scenarios, kind of like Whose Line Is It Anyway?
I love that show.
Scenario.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was just natural to me. So when they threw whatever the situation was out and I was able to take it and run with it without much coaching or direction, just thunderous applause. And I was just like, that's what you want me to do. That's what you want. Like, oh, this is natural. So that opened an outlet, that opened an avenue for me. You know what I'm saying? I was 13 when that happened, and that was in 1993, which is the year the Jurassic Park came out. And Jurassic Park was the movie that made me want to be in movies. I'll never forget going to watch that movie. I had finished reading the book by Michael Crichton that same day, the day the movie came out. I feel like it was like July 2nd or July 3rd, 1993. I remember getting on my bike. I saved up enough money to be able to go to the movies. You know what I mean? So I got on my bike. It was during the summer. I remember riding to the movie theater, sitting in the middle of that theater, and I remember the lights going down. I remember the Universal logo popping up, trees rustling. You know what I'm saying? When the movie when the movie came up. But the scene where Tim and Lex, you know what I'm saying? Tim and Lex, who were the two kids, and the lawyer Gennaro was in like the front truck, the Ford Explorer. The Dr. Grant, Ian Malcolm were in the second Ford Explorer in front of that T-Rex paddock. And the power had gone out. It was raining. You know what I mean? And the lawyer took off running when he saw the T-Rex. You know what I mean? Because like I said, the power is the electrical fence that was there. And there was a goat that was behind the fence. And Lex was a vegan. She was a vegetarian. So she was concerned about the goats. Like, where's the goat? And she looks over and the T-Rex, the leg of the goat fell on top. The leg of the goat fell on top of the truck. And then you see the T-Rex's head. See him gonna be swallowing the goat. So the lawyer takes off running. So the two kids are in the truck by themselves. And man, when that fence snapped and those wires came pulling back and the T-Rex stepped in between those two trucks and Lex was playing with the flashlight and the T-Rex's head came down and that flashlight hit his pupil and his pupil dilated. I was just like, I want to do what they're doing. I want to do that. I want to do that. I want to be in that truck. Not literally in the situation they were in, but doing what those kids were doing. I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to do that. How are they doing that?
How old were you at that point?
13.
Go ahead.
13 years old, man. That was the same summer when my mom put me in that theater, that theater camp at the Alliance Theater Company. So that sparked something in me, man. Like that outlet of being other people, like creating characters, giving characters a backstory, giving them mannerisms. That was such an awesome process for me, and that outlet kept me out of a lot of trouble, and it kept me focused on something during the time when I needed to be focused on something. So that started my acting journey. But when I was 26, I was hired as an actor in a living history tour that was going to be at the National Civil Rights Museum at the Lorraine Motel. All right, which is the assassination site of Dr. King. Okay. And the playwright of that living history tour, I had just done a play with, not too long before that. So as he was writing this living history tour, he kept me in mind. So I was playing this fictional character named Randy, who was on the bus and Rosa Parks wouldn't get up. So the way that the tour was designed, like when you took the tour, you'd have an actor who would come to life at the first exhibit and kind of reenact some things until you got to a certain point. Then another actor would pop up. And then you follow that actor into the further exhibits until you got to the third actor. And that's how you would get through the museums, by following these actors who were recreating moments of the civil rights movement. And you would just follow these actors through the museum. Well, I was like midway through on the tour. So I was sitting on the bus. I'm in the back of the bus, and when the tour group would come around the corner, I'd hop off the bus, and I'd be like, everybody, you gotta see what's going on, Miss Parks. She won't get up. Come on, you gotta see this. And I would teach people about the bus boycotts and the sit-ins and the March on Washington and the Birmingham March, right? But there was so much time of me sitting on the bus waiting on the group to come around the corner that I just started reading everything around me. I read everything that was in the bus. I would take notes and I would write down everything that was in the exhibits. And my mom, she was adamant about teaching my history to me. Like vacations for me was like trips to plantations and museums. And I was just like, yo, Mom, can we go to Six Flags? Please, can we do something else? But it's something clicked with me there. You know what I'm saying? The impact of the place and the impact of where I was doing what I was doing, something clicked with me there. And this character, Randy, became like a highlight, you know what I'm saying, of the tour. Like people would show up to come see Randy. But then not knowing that the president of the museum, a woman named Beverly Robertson, who I give so much credit for giving me an opportunity to change my life, that put me on a path that eventually led me here. You know what I'm saying? Right. I did not know she was watching me. I didn't know that she was paying attention to me while I was performing, but she was paying attention to me when I'd be up there with my notepad, taking notes, like on my off days. Like she was paying attention to this young black kid who was in there who seemed to have this interest in something in this museum. He's taking pride in those performances, but he seems to be taking an interest in this place. And man, when the Living History tour was over, I wasn't ready to leave. That place was changing me. Like I needed to be there. You know what I'm saying? So I asked him. I was like, "Yo," I asked the head of education and interpretation at that time. I asked her. I was like, "Yo, do you have any tour guide opportunities?" You know what I mean? I was told, "No, I don't have anything right now." I was like, "I know I'm supposed to be here. I know." So I just kept coming up there, and I have this habit of writing everything down. At least I did then. So I actually eventually wrote every word on every panel in the museum until I got all the way through there. There's notebooks and notebooks worth of stuff, but that's how I would commit stuff to memory. So I just kept coming, taking notes, and I came to him one day and said, "Hey, what about volunteer opportunities? Can I volunteer? Can I volunteer to be?" No, sorry, there's nothing we can do. I'm just like,
Why not volunteer?
so that's my mind. I'm like, you mean to tell me I can't volunteer to be everywhere? I gotta know. So I was just like, okay, I know I'm supposed to be here. So I kept coming up there taking notes. And then Beverly Robinson, and man, a woman I love her dearly. Her and her husband Howard Robinson, who I consider family to this day. And Beverly came and got me. She caught me taking notes. And she had very, very, very spunky, upbeat woman, you know what I'm saying, from South Memphis. "Kenan, what you doing? What you doing in here, Kenan? What you in here doing?" I'm like, I'm just taking notes with Beverly. "You got a few minutes? Come to my office with me. Come talk to me. Come on up here and talk to me." So go up to her office.
Yeah.
And she was just like, "Well, I've been in and out of town a lot lately. I've been doing that. We got this going on. We got this going on. But I couldn't seem to keep my inbox and my emails empty because I kept getting emails about Randy. Like, who was Randy? We don't have nobody who works at the museum named Randy. Who was Randy?" You know what I'm saying? So I would come down and I was like, "Oh, Randy in the Living History tour." So I would come down and I'd watch you hop off that bus and I'd watch all the kids and the people get excited. He said, "But I also watched you by yourself. I watched you with your notepad. I watched you taking notes on these exhibits. I watched you coming up here in between the days the tour was going on." She says, "Let me ask you something. Kenan, what do you want to do?" I said, "Well, I want to be the tour guide. Like I want to figure out how to teach this history to people in a way to where maybe it'll impact them the way this place is impacting me. Like I want to find a way to bring these exhibits to life.
Wow.
You know what I mean, in a creative way." And she goes, "Oh, okay, so you want to be a tour guide?" She said, "Okay, so you probably gonna need full-time hours, right? You don't need benefits too, right?" I said, "Okay, don't worry about that. That's done. That's not what I'm asking you." She said, "What do you want to do?" That's the first time in my life I realized somebody asked me, "What's your purpose? What do you feel like your purpose is? What is it that's in you that you seem to be trying to connect to?" In a blink of an eye, she solved the employment issue. I needed that position at that time in my life. I needed that. I needed someone to believe in me. And I kept getting no's. I kept getting no's. I kept getting no's.
But you didn't give up. But you
I
didn't give up.
I did not give up because my spirit was telling me this is where you were supposed to be. You might not get a yes from that avenue. That doesn't mean it's not coming. I didn't send that avenue to you. He sent Beverly to me. I seek out a yes from someone who was never in position to give it to me. Do you understand what I'm saying? She couldn't have given me the yes that I needed. The president of the museum came and found me, who had been watching me this whole time and I didn't know it.
Right.
She was sent to me. So it makes sense to me now why I was getting no's over here. I was seeking out a yes from a place I was not supposed to be looking for it from anyway. My yes was going to be sent to me by me being obedient and continuing to come up there and take those notes and continue to let this place fill my spirit and my mind. You know what I mean? And my ambitions. I mean, and when she asked me that, when she so matter-of-factly said, "No, you want to be a tour guide? Okay, yeah, you probably gonna need full-time hours and you don't need benefits too. Okay, yeah, that's done. Don't worry about that." That's not what I'm asking you. She said it so matter-of-factly that the thing I had been stressing about for those months since the Living History tour was over, it was gone. It was gone. When she just so matter-of-factly said, "No, that's done. Don't worry about that. That's not what I'm asking you. It's gone." The weight that I had been carrying of just knowing, like I know I'm supposed to be doing, it was gone in an instant. But something else was presented to me, and that was, what is your purpose? What do you feel like you're supposed to be doing? Now that you ain't got to worry about this employment thing, what is it that you feel like you should be doing? I took a second and I said, I want to educate and inspire people through arts and entertainment. I don't know where it came from. It just flowed out just like that. I want to use the gifts that I got to act, to create situations, to connect with people, to articulate myself. I want to find a way to channel that into educating and inspiring people through these gifts I feel like God gave me. And I said, that's what I want to do. I want to educate and inspire people in a creative way. I want to bring these exhibits to life, and I want to inspire and educate people through arts and entertainment. And she looked at me and she said, Ken, I want you to know I believe in you.
Okay.
I believe in you. I see you. I see you. And she said, I want to let you know we got these HBO executives coming up for this. We got this documentary that's coming up. I'm going to put you in front of these people. I'm going to put you in front of these people. I'm going to let it, but I'm going to depend on you to show up the way you say you're going to show up. I'm going to trust you to do what you say you're going to do. You know what I mean? And what that did, it made me stand up a little bit straighter. It made me conscious of how I carry myself. It made me conscious of how I communicate. It made me conscious of what type of perception. You know what I mean? Because I realized a lot of people, especially young 26-year-old black man in Memphis, there was already people that were expecting me to fail just by me being a 26-year-old black man in Memphis. Just the perception.
Can I interrupt you again? Can I interrupt you again? And don't
Mhm.
forget where you were talking about a 26-year-old man in Memphis. I got to share a Memphis story with you.
Mhm.
Now, I'm an Elvis fan, so I've been there many times. It could be about 10 years ago now, 11 years, whatever it's been, maybe 12, the latest. I brought a friend of mine from Australia here. His name is Limpy. He has MS, and he limps with one leg, and his right arm is stuck against him like this, but he's mentally fine. We're poker buddies. So me and my brother brought him here. He was never out of Australia, and he's a huge Elvis fan. So, of course, we had to go to Memphis, right? Well, I get a cab at the hotel, and it was a black cab driver. Now, this is how naive I am to racism. My granddaughter's part black. I mean, I don't see color. Okay, my parents didn't see color. So I can't imagine it's still happening. Well, this black cab driver picks us up. I let Limpy get in the front with him because of his disability, and I'm in the back, and I'm sitting in the middle, and I'm talking. I'm rattling. He says to me, ma'am, you don't have to talk to me. I know my place. So I go, really? I said, all right, pull over, sir. He goes, you want me to pull over? I said, please pull over. He thought I was going to get out. I mean, so Limpy already knows, and he's shaking his head like, here we go. So we pull over. I get out. I said, sir, can you get out with me, please? He says, you want me to get out? I said, please. He gets out. I said, now, can I have a hug? And he said, you want to hug me? I said, absolutely. I give him a big hug, and I looked at him straight in the eye, and I said, never know your place. Do you understand me? Never know your place. And he had tears in his eyes, and he hugged me again. And I'm just like, I never even realized, how naive am I, that still went on in down south.
Absolutely, and that's the thing. I meet so many people from up north. I was born in Memphis. I was raised in Atlanta. Came back. You know what I mean? So I'm born in and I'm from the South. So I've encountered so many. You know what I'm saying? Examples of firsthand racism. Like I know it is a way of life. I know when I had to be taught how to deal with police. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't do what everybody else does. You can't be, you know what I'm saying, the loud one. You can't, whether you're right or wrong, there's protocol that you have to follow in order to not be killed. These were things that I had to learn. You know what I'm saying? I went to school in Senatobia. I went to college in Senatobia, Mississippi. You know what I mean? In the backwoods. You know what I mean? Back there in the country, coming from Atlanta to Senatobia, Mississippi. I've seen racism. I've been called all kind of stuff. I've been encountered with firsthand racism, and I know it to be a way of life.
Do you know what else I learned? I was on tour with a Southern family in my 20s with my dad, and he was a history teacher down south. He was in his 20s as well. Do you know what I learned? You might know this because I certainly didn't, that our history books up north are different than the history books down south.
Yeah, absolutely.
They talk about slavery as a good thing, that the families took care of them. All right, forget that. So now let's get back to you. You're 24 years old. You're getting this job, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, 26. Yeah, 26 at that
26.
time. And so she put me in place. So what I did was I I took a tour. I wanted to see how the information was being presented first. And it was literally an employee that also worked at the front desk with like a sheet of paper with like pinpoints and dates that she was reading from as she was walking through the exhibits. I was like, no, this is too important. So what I did was I went and I took each exhibit and I found a way to make it into a demonstration where it was something interactive that you could participate in versus me standing there telling you dates and facts. According to what was on the timeline from this wall to this wall, I'm like, what pieces of history can I bring to life through demonstrations so people can really get a firsthand understanding of what this is talking about versus me just explaining it to you. So it took me about 6 months to go through, and keep in mind, this is also the original version of the National Civil Rights Museum. It's a Smithsonian Institute now. So there was a 2.5-year period that was closed, and they brought in all these touchscreen interactives, and they upgraded the exhibits. When I was there, it was there was some text on panels. There was a few flat screens, a few mannequins, the Klan robe. It was, you really had to read to get through there. Therefore, there was much more of a need for a tour guide at that point. So I found a way to bring each exhibit to life through these demonstrations, and then eventually I became the lead tour guide. Then I became the VIP tour guide. But then when that happened, I started being mentored by the civil rights activists themselves. The word was getting out about this passionate, young, black, male tour guide at the Civil Rights Museum who's an actor, but he's also an educator, and he's doing these tours that people are like bringing their classes and their kids and stuff to come and see. So like John Lewis became a mentor to me. Andrew Young became a mentor to me. Reverend Samuel Billy Kyle.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Wow. All right, go ahead.
These people came and took a vested interest in me. You know what I'm saying? Reverend Samuel Billy Kyle, who was on the balcony when the shot went off, when he was standing next to Dr. King. He was a mentor to me. Maxine Smith, who helped to get schools integrated. She was part of the NAACP here in Memphis. And Dr. Benjamin Hooks. These people became mentors. They invited me to their homes. They had dinner with me. They poured their firsthand knowledge into me. But then they trusted me to tell their stories.
Wow.
You know what I mean? They would send groups to the museum and said, if Keenan's not there, let my group go through self-guided. I don't want anyone talking to my group unless it's Keenan. Amazing. That gave my life purpose. You know what I'm saying? That gave me purpose. And that made me feel so, alive. It made me feel like I tapped into, I'm like, okay, the acting is leading into this. And then the tour guide is making me a better orator. You know what I mean? So everything is just falling into place. And I was just being used as this vessel to educate people, you know what I mean, in a way. And I'll never forget, like, Merle Evers, who was Medgar Evers' widow. You know what I mean? She and another famous black poet named Sonia Sanchez. Sonia Sanchez is whose poetry is in the movie Love Jones. I mean, but I gave both of them a tour through the Civil Rights Museum together. There was a women's exhibit that was coming up. I think it was Women of the Movement. I think it was called Women of the Movement. And they were in town to commemorate the opening of that exhibit. So I was giving them a tour through the museum, and by the time we got to the end of the museum, which is room 306, which is the room Dr. King and I last slept in, we shared a room with Ralph Abernathy. By the time we got to what we call the King rooms, we were all in tears, everybody. And Merle Evers looked at me, and she says, "Is your tour on film?" I said, "No, ma'am, no, it's not." She said, "People need to see this. You speak about the movement as if you were there." And it just tore me up. I was like, man, like, I'm making a difference. Man, I'm making a difference. The people that are in these documentaries that I'm playing, and these people see me. They see me. You know what I mean? And it made me believe that my life was bigger than just me. That purpose was a real thing. Like, there was really a plan for me.
Right.
To be here. You know what I'm saying? And what it does when you tap into purpose, and what that does is it takes you away from the majority. You become a minority because you're operating on your path. You're not following what everybody else is doing. You're not going to the places that you once thought were cool when you weren't focused on how it would affect what your purpose to be doing. You're not hanging around the people who, bring you frustration or can't understand what it is that you're doing now. So there were a lot of friends that fell off and things that I stopped doing because I need to go home. I need to go watch Eyes on the Prize again. I need to read Roots again. I need to read the autobiography of Malcolm X again. I need to read this book again. People like, man, you still studying, man? You always studying, man. You always studying. Say, man, you know, I'm doing what the work I'm purposed to be doing. Like, this is bigger than me. And I'm not just studying for me. There's people coming to see me. There's people who need to get this. You know what I'm saying? And I'm the person who's got to give it to them. So it made me conscious of purpose, of operating in purpose. You know what I mean? And listening to my spirit. And I've never stopped doing that. And every other door that has opened in my life since then, even Duckmaster came not through a plan of my own.
Right.
Not through,
Right.
but there was a plan.
Yeah.
There was a plan. I just had to continue to learn to be obedient to a bigger plan and just stay out of my way. You know what I mean?
Yes.
We're taught to have a plan, and it's fine. It's fine to have a plan. I mean, to a certain extent, you must have a plan. If you got to pay bills, you got to make sure there's food in the house. You got kids. You need to have a plan to be able to maintain your responsibilities as an adult. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the plan for your creation. Like, why were you specifically created? Why did all those ingredients and all the things come together to make you? What was the purpose for it? There had to have been. A lot of people don't realize I'm here for something.
Yep.
A lot of people never even tap into purpose. They're existing. They're just trying to figure it out. And the longer you do that, they're wondering why you're depressed, because nothing seems to be enough, because you're not tapping into what your purpose to be doing. You're tapping into what you feel obligated to have to do. And I mean, with purpose is that thing in the back of your mind and in your spirit that you always wanted. I always wanted to try, or I've always thought that I had a knack for trying this, but I can't justify making a living doing that, so I never tried it. Or it's not going to make money immediately, so I never tried it. But I always wanted to, or I always wondered if one day if I could. And the longer we keep pushing that to the back of our head, the things that you do acquire aren't enough because it's not attached to purpose. You know what I mean? Yeah, you got the car. Yeah, you got the outfit. You got the things. But you still feel empty because that thing in your head you never took heed to. That might be what you were purposed to do. You know what I mean? And sometimes when we just take that first step, there's something waiting on us to connect to it. But we don't justify taking the first step because you can't make sense of it. You can't make sense of purpose. That's why there's no major in purpose in college. You can't teach it. You have to learn a trade.
Okay.
There's no major in purpose.
I'm going to interrupt you for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Ina just texted me now. I have a poem in my book I read, and it's bookmarked, so it was already chosen.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, you need your poem. I'm going to read my poem now, based on everything you just said about purpose. My poem's called, that I wrote, Utilizing Gifts and Talents. Okay?
Yeah.
So now's the time to read it, all right? Right, Ina? All right. So I wrote this poem for people who question their self-worth, for people who feel like they have nothing to offer. And I tell everybody, we all have something to offer, but you have to figure out what it is and do it. All right? So I am so excited right now to read this poem because I've never felt that this poem was more needed than on this show right now here. Everything you just said. All right, here we go. We are born with talents. We are born with drive, with different gifts to help us thrive. I knew early on I was born to draw and paint, to also write poetry and to talk without restraint. Our gifts and talents should all be used. God's gift to us, not be abused. We can go far in life for sure, using our gifts to go on tour. All our talents should be used to create ourselves and more, but then our job's to share them, to even up the score. You see, in life, what's needed is not just for ourselves. Once our gifts are mastered, take them off the shelves. A living we can make by spreading them around, but not just for the money, to spread a peaceful sound. So don't take for granted the gifts you're given. Go out and spread the joy. Our gifts are not to be held back for us to self-destroy. Put your efforts forth. Do not hesitate. All your talents, my friend, are never second rate, not even duckmastering. Never hold them back, or you will surely die. Maybe not in body, but your soul will cry. Our gifts were made to share, our talents made to soar. Go through life enlightened, then you can roar. Be proud of who you are. Be happy you're alive. Once again, my friend, your gifts will help you thrive. By putting efforts forth, not keeping them at bay. Your name, Kenon Walker, baby, will live forever, forever and a day. So go through life excited for what you sure can give. To yourself and others is our reason to live. Our grave will be quite lonely, but our legacy lives on. So make sure people smile with the breaking dawn. That is what you are doing. Okay, how perfect was that? Everything you just said.
Spot on, spot on, spot on. That's purpose. Like you get it. I mean, like it's just. But the thing I also realize is that you have to go through to get to. You know what I mean? You have to go through to get to. You cannot fully appreciate what's waiting on you until you went through what you had to go through to get it. You know what I mean? It's balance.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And there were so many circumstances that I thought would break me, you know what I'm saying, that I didn't, I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna get through this, or it was too much to bear. But if you think about every time you thought something was gonna take you out, think about the fact you're still here to think that.
That's right.
That means you made it through it.
That's right.
Everything you thought would break you down, you made it through it.
That's right.
You're on the other side of it. You know what I'm saying? Every situation that you ever thought would crush you, you're still here to have that thought. So you're capable of much more than what you realize. But if you don't go through the breakdowns and the almost giving up and the being disassembled, then you can't appreciate being rebuilt. You can't appreciate the new perspective.
That's right.
And you can't relate to somebody who's broken, who you're meant to reach by being an example. That's right. You know what I'm saying? The thing I realized is like I influence more people than I realize by being a vessel that's been tested. You know what I mean? When I meet people now, the impact I have on them is not like, okay, how can I change this person's life today? It's not that. It's that I'm in tune with what you might be going through, because I may have been through something similar. I feel the distraught. I feel the pain.
Right.
I feel the doubt. I feel the exhaustion. I feel it. I'm kind of like an empath. You know what I mean? It's something that's kind of developed over all these years from encountering so many people. But if I had not been through,
that's right,
the things that I've been through, I couldn't relate to someone that's going through it. I would just be politicking. I'd be telling you what I think sounds good to you to get your vote.
Right.
If I can't understand how low and how broken you feel, then I can't tell you.
That's right.
How to there's something waiting on the other side, because when you're there, all you see is that. All you see is the no's. Right. You see the hants. You see the impossibles. You see the closed doors.
Right.
You see the turn backs. I mean, but when someone is sent to you, just like someone was sent to me, in all these different situations that sees me during those times, now I get to be the person that's sent to people during those times. I don't know who's who. I just deal with people according to how I met you.
That's right.
That's privately and publicly. If you meet me in person, one thing I don't like people to do. Now, that sounds weird to some people. They're like, man, you should be proud of all you're doing. I don't like when people introduce me. Now, this is different. We're on an interview, but I don't like when people introduce me to someone I've never met as, this is Kenon. He's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. None of that matters in this moment. I'm meeting the person that I'm in front of as Kenon Walker. That's all you need to know. Let me connect with this person as the person I am, and connect with the person that they are. That way I can see them and they can see me for who's in front of them. Everything else, if it's meant to be revealed afterwards, that's truth. That always presents itself.
Okay, I get it.
And it always defends itself.
I get it.
You don't have to advertise the truth. It's there.
I get it.
You know what I mean? But if someone realizes, man, this guy gave me some of the realest words I ever heard in my life, right? And then you find out later, you saw some movie I was in, or you saw some commercial, or you find out I'm the Duckmaster, or whatever. But he didn't say that in that moment. You know what I'm saying? He connected with me and told me what I needed to hear. He gave me some gems. He didn't mention nothing about no ducks, movies, or acting, none of that. History, he didn't mention that. But then when you realize that's the person who saw me.
Right.
That's the person who took time out to see me. He didn't mention none of that, but that's who he actually is. I'm still just the person that's in front of you. So now you know who I am. You figure out who you are. You know what I'm saying? Because you're worthy of me stopping and talking to you. I see you just like someone saw me. I'm not any greater than or less than anyone. I'm just someone who's in process and eventually got to a point of getting out of my way and tapping into the things that made me feel like I was supposed to be here. I was supposed to be doing this. I was
No, I
supposed to
get
be
it, Kenon. Yeah.
here.
So we have a few minutes left.
Mhm.
Tell everyone, like, I guess, how they can reach out to you if they want, social media, all that good stuff.
Well, on Facebook, it's Kenon Walker. It's KENON, last name Walker. Instagram, Kenon_Walker. I do have a Duckmaster Kenon TikTok page. It's all one word, Duckmaster, KENON, and that's all just positive, uplifting, inspirational content. I've got some cool stuff happening too, man. I got a few movies that are out. I got a movie called Betray Thirst that just came out. It's a romance thriller. It came out May 6th on Amazon and Apple TV. Just hit Tubi 3 weeks ago and has 15 million views.
Yeah.
In the first 3 weeks on Tubi. It blew up. You know what I mean? So that's like Betray Thirst. And I got a project that I'm a part of with David Arquette. All right, David Arquette. I met some people at the Peabody Hotel that introduced me to David Arquette. And David Arquette and I became friends. David Arquette introduced me to Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman. He and I became friends. Paul Rubens pitched me to the executive producers of the game show To Tell the Truth. They flew me to Hollywood, and both David Arquette and Paul Rubens were on that same episode. That ended up being Paul Rubens' last television appearance. But he pitched me to the executive producers of To Tell the Truth. Paul Rubens did that. But since then, David Arquette has bought the rights to Bozo the Clown. All right? The world's most friendliest clown, right? And so he's trying to bring back Bozo the Clown. I'm a part of the relaunch. You know what I'm saying? So for the last 4 years, I've been working with David Arquette. He just dropped a new Bozo album, you know what I mean, that I'm a part of. We've filmed a documentary. You know, that there's a 2-part documentary that'll be coming, but I'll give you a little insight on my involvement. I mean, in the documentary, you see David Arquette and his journey to acquire the rights to Bozo. I mean, so it's a 2-part documentary. I think this Becoming Bozo and Being Bozo. So you see him acquiring the rights and picking the people who will be the new Bozo crew. But I'm the only one who's not a clown. I'm a king.
Oh.
I'm the kindness king. His royal kindness. So in the documentary, they go to get the Duckmaster, who was on To Tell the Truth with David and Paul, and the segment they were in was about clowns. They go to get Duckmaster Kenon to become the ringmaster of the new Bozo circus. So you see David and me paying tribute to Paul, watching the episode of To Tell the Truth where we were on together in the documentary. But then you also see when they come to Memphis and they come to the Duck March, you see me as Duckmaster Kenon, but then you also see me taking them all around Memphis and kind of getting my backstory. And you see the creation of my character, who is the kindness king. You know what I mean? That's my character right there on the back.
Oh my gosh, adorable.
So it's a lot of awesome things that are happening now. All I can say is stay tuned. Now, if you just Google Kenon Walker, there's a lot of great things that are happening that are on the horizon, and that I'm sure will happen. But keep in mind, all this is happening. I have no management. I don't have an agent. I don't have a publicist. I don't have a team. These things continuously keep happening to me because I'm just staying obedient to what I'm supposed to be doing in the moments. And these opportunities keep presenting themselves. I mean, I've got my SAG card. I've been to Hollywood twice. I don't have a manager. I don't have an agent. You know what I mean? So these things, through me being obedient in my purpose, are leading to opportunities that were not my plan.
Right.
That's what happens, man, when you operate in purpose, man. There's so much stuff waiting on you, so many doors for you to walk through. You know what I mean? So I'm just staying obedient and walking through the doors that are being opened as a result of my obedience. That's
Walking
my life.
in purpose. Walking in purpose, baby.
Yep.
Well, Kenon, I want to thank you. First of all, let's thank Ina for introducing us. Yeah, girl. Love you, girl. Okay. She's just loving the show and loves you, and amazing. So I'm a huge fan now. I think you're incredible, okay, on so many different levels.
Likewise. I mean, and I love that poem too. That poem really put a smile on my face.
Okay. Wow. All right. So I want to thank you for honoring me here on the Geri Petito Show in Hamilton Radio. I mean, what a cool interview. What an amazing journey you are on. Okay, I mean, this is so ridiculous to me in such an incredible way. All right, and the Ducks, but this is what I would do. Like when you have to send that crew back, I would kiss each one of them on the head and then send them back. Okay, you got to do that. Come on. Oh my gosh, Keenan, thank you, sweetheart. If I'm going to give you the mic, you got about 1 minute. Say anything you'd like to say to all the listeners, and then we'll close.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, again, for all the listeners, thanks for tuning in and watching. You know, me speak on my journey. And if anything, the movies, the duck mastering, the accomplishments that people may know me for, all they are just examples that faith and operating in purpose works. Okay. Those are the tangible things that validate what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Not to say that anybody, you know, who walks up to you and tells you that, you know, staying faithful works isn't valid. But sometimes people are, okay, so how did faith work for you? All right, since you know so much, how did it work for you? The accomplishments that I'm speaking on, the movies, all the things that you'll see that I'm a part of are tangible examples how faith works for me. So if these things can happen for me, there's something waiting on you. If you just learn how to get out your way, listen to your spirit. I mean, it's the thing that is speaking to you when you go to sleep. It's the first thing you hear when you wake up and all throughout the day. Learn to listen to that voice. It'll lead you where you are purposed to be. And when those doors open, walk through them knowing that you are enough, that you were designed to have been at the doorstep to walk through. Just walk through the door, and what's on the other side may completely blow your mind. And that's what my life has become. So have faith and take that jump. It's okay.
Amazing.
You got it.
Amazing. Walking in purpose. Kenon, thank you. I love you. Wow, this is amazing. I'm hoping one day I get to meet your ducks, but you're going to have to stop me because I'm going to want to kiss them. All right, here we go.
I got it.
So,
I got you.
Producers, take us out.
Welcome to the stage where stories untold, candid moments captured, memories unfold. Gary's got the vibes, a soothing flow. Come sit back, relax, let the good times glow. Jazz in the air, let it take you away. Welcome to the Geri Petito Show, where every heartbeat and every note flow. Jazz melodies weaving through the night. Together we'll shine. Everything feels right. Deep conversations where the heart finds a voice. Together we laugh. Sometimes we rejoice. Tales of adventure, the rhythms embrace. In each note a journey, feel the space. Step into the light, let the music. Welcome to the Geri Petito Show, where every heartbeat and every note flow. Jazz melodies weaving through the night. Together we'll shine. Everything feels right. So tune in now, let the magic start. Geri's podcast, a place for your art.